Hi, my name is Pamela Mtanga and I am your host. This is my audio journal. So, what's in question today? There's nothing more daunting than starting a new journey, and starting this podcast is pretty daunting. I think as I'm sitting here now, I'm thinking about all of the things that I want to say. Would you guys like to hear the conversations that I want to have with you? The random thoughts that I have? Are they the same thoughts that you guys have? So I'm kind of nervous starting this podcast, but what the heck? Let's get into it. And I think it's only fitting for me to start by reflecting on my journey as a multimedia entrepreneur. And by the way, multimedia entrepreneur is a title that Sibu Mabena of Duma Collective gave me, because she was like, "Kanti Pam, what do you do? A MC, a digital content creator, hey, multimedia entrepreneur. That's what we're calling you." I was like, actually, that's the title. And I think then that's why if someone else comes and says multimedia entrepreneur, I was like, you're jacking my style. You're jacking my style, because that title is so special to me. But let's get into audio journals, why I started it, and where I am in my career, and to also just give you a bit of background as to who I am, where I come from, and what drives me, and possibly what you could learn from me in the next couple of I don't know how long we're gonna keep this going, but let's keep the audio journal going. I hope you like my outfit, by the way, especially for you. Okay, so Pamela Mtanga, guys. Pamela Mtanga is a multimedia entrepreneur who was born in Port Elizabeth, now known as Ikwebecha. I am number 2 of 4 kids, and I like to describe myself as a person who's an extroverted introvert. Yes, I'm an extroverted introvert. I really like to keep to myself, but the mic is my superpower. Whenever you see me with the microphone, don't even try me, because that is my Sasha Fierce. But when I don't have the mic, I'm kind of shy and a bit more reserved, and I am also a creative, so I really like to put my ideas to life and bring them to life, and hence this podcast. And I wouldn't necessarily say this was my idea, it was my team. It was actually my team who came up with this. They're like, "Guys, Pam is starting a podcast." I was like, "Wait, what? We're starting a podcast?" They're like, "Yep, you're starting a podcast." And I was just like, "Okay, cool. Let's go." And that's the beauty of working with people who are really smart, who are people who are able to see the vision beyond you, people who are able to bring their creative IP and say, "Pam, this is what you're going to do," and I'm really blessed in that front. But let's take it back a bit. I was rather I think when I was growing up, I really thought I was going to be a doctor. And then there's a full-blown creative right in front of you. So we already know that dream didn't work out. And the only reason I think I wanted to be a doctor, or 2 reasons, is because 1, I really loved helping people. And I think number 2, it's the security that I saw that being a doctor could afford you. Think about it. When we were growing up, doctors and lawyers and all of those people were the most successful people, and now we're just live in a new world where YouTubers are successful, content creators are successful, filmmakers are successful, and so on and so forth. But back then, I think doctors were like the proximity to wealth and just success, right? And fast forward to when I was living with my granddad, he used to discourage us. Okay, discourage any dreams around being a presenter or anything, but because probably I didn't see it at that time that probably you want to be a presenter. We used to sit in front of his mirror and go, "Hi, welcome to Yo TV." No. I think everyone wanted to be a Yo TV presenter, right? We remember the number. It had a 3030 at the end. I don't remember it now. PO Box 16 Melville 2109. Yes, that one. So, and my granddad would literally say, because we'd literally sit in front of his mirror and pretend we're on YoTV. And the translation of that is stop looking at yourselves in that mirror like you're a bunch of cats, right? And for me, at that time, I didn't realize that it would lead to something. So I wasn't really bothered. And then fast forward to my first year of varsity, I was studying electrical engineering. Don't even ask me how I got to electrical engineering. I was studying electrical engineering at the prestigious Nelson Mandela University. And when I was doing that course, I absolutely despised it. I despised it. So at the end of the year, I was like, you know what? I want to switch. My mom gave me her blessing and she said, I was just waiting for you because I can see you are a natural born creative, you're an entertainer, and I just want you to spread your wings and fly. And so I did. I switched to a BA Media Communication and Culture degree. And then I began my first year in that course, which is my second year in varsity. And I realized within that first year of that course that it is time for us to discover who Pam is, you know? And I really hope at some point in your life or at any point in your life, you're able to get to that point where you want to discover yourself. You're allowing yourself to discover yourself, because I think whenever I feel stuck or I feel like, things are not going right, I'm so stuck, I'm not happy where I'm at, I always remind myself of that Pam, second year Pam, who was just willing to start over and forget whatever ideologies of who she is or who the community expects her to be, and rather just focus on the calling or whatever is telling her to just like go in a certain direction. And that's exactly what I did. So in my first year of the course, I then started going, I joined radio. And the way that radio happened, guys, it is so crazy. I was friends with a girl from radio, right? And I was like, hey, kind of just like make sure I go in. And then she was like, I don't have that influence, but I'll speak to my programs manager. I kid you not, the guy said to me, go on air on Saturday morning. I was like, okay. I went on air. So my practice was YoTV in front of my grandfather's mirror. That's the only practice that I had. I went on the mic and then I started presenting. And then in the next week, I didn't know what was next, because obviously on the weekend, not a lot of people are at the station. So now it was next Saturday and I was like, they probably didn't like me and probably didn't amount to anything. And luckily I bumped into the guy the next weekend, and then he was like, why aren't you at the station? Because you're so hired. That was super exciting. So I started my journey on radio, and through radio, I became a prominent figure within the campus space because I had a lot of followers being 1,000 followers. Thank you. It was a small town, okay? Small town of Port Elizabeth. 1,000 followers was a lot, okay? And I was also an MC on campus. I used to also do some content around campus. So I became the girl, on campus. And through that, I started landing brand ambassador deals with some JC listed companies. So I became the girl, And then fast forward to my first year of working. Now, this is where it got interesting. And this is where I really launched my career in Joburg, because a lot of people wonder what happens from you moving from Port Elizabeth and getting noticed in Johannesburg. How does that work? Firstly, I was working for this youth marketing agency in my 3 years of being in varsity, right? So by the time I graduated, I told them that you guys are gonna give me a job, okay? I need a job, okay? So they gave me a job as an intern. They created an internship for me. And during that internship, they would then show me around the company. So they would show me the graduate programs. They would show me the activations. They would show me finance, every single thing, right? And one shushu day, this is what happened. I was on campus going to witness my first activation as a intern or employee of this company, and not just as a brand ambassador. So they were like, we want to teach you the ropes. This is how things works, etc. And then I go to campus and witness this activation. It was a Nedbank activation. And on this particular day, they didn't budget for an MC. right? And the account manager was a friend and colleague of mine. And he's like, client is not happy right now. And we need a bit of commotion in order for people to be prepared for the performer to come, right? There was also a life-size Monopoly game. So the activation itself was really cool, but they just didn't have enough happening around it. So now he's like, please save my job. And I was like, I got you. I go on the mic. I promise you, within minutes, the whole campus was there. I'm not saying I'm that cool or what, but like, I got a couple of skills. So I got on the mic and I just started this vibe, around the Monopoly game. I had a lot of people come through, and I kid you not, by the time the performer came on, which was Shekinah, she had the time of her life. The crowd was buzzing. Everyone was just so happy. And at that time, she was booming. She was the girl, And I remember playing her songs on my radio show the previous year. So it was such a, oh my gosh. Even for me, it was like, oh my gosh, Shekinah is the one who's performing here. And she was such a nice girl. Now, this is the part where it gets so sweet for me, right? Because the question is, how did it really take off for you? Because I am an intern, I go back to the office. Yeah, it's a regular day, I go back to the office and they continue with the campus tour. Again, they didn't budget for an MC. And then she gets on stage on the other day. She doesn't like it. I get a call and they're like, Pam, Shekinah says she won't do the tour without you. I was like, say it again, oh. She's like, yeah, Shekinah said she can't do the tour without you. And I was like, and that's basically my first ever gig in Johannesburg, and that's how I launched into the MCing space in Johannesburg, which I had already started in Port Elizabeth, but Johannesburg is a different ball game altogether. I started that, and I must issue a disclaimer. Shekinah is not a diva. She's one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. So for her to say, I can't do this without Pam, for me felt like confirmation that Pam, this is what you're supposed to be doing, And I got so much confidence in the work that I did that it's actually valuable, It can turn an activation from quiet to there's a whole lot of people, And it kind of changed the trajectory of how everyone felt about the activation and therefore the success of the activation, because there were also account signups, etc. Right? Now, fast forward to where I am today. In the past couple of years, I have done incredible things. I've gotten the opportunity to work with incredible directors, producers, talent managers. I've worked with a lot of artists, and through my journey, I think the one thing that has stuck out is the fact that there's always a person, individual, or an entity, a company, or just an organization that is going to give you an opportunity, or just say, please listen to this person, or I'm backing this person, or give this person a chance. And my career has been testament to that, because since then I've done 3 TV shows. My first TV show was on Honey TV, never even auditioned for that. They called me, they were like, girl, sign the contract, okay? And then the second TV show was Massive Music on Channel O. And then the third one was Afrimax on the home channel. And then apart from that, I've done a lot of events. Because events really have my heart. Standing on stage and holding the mic really is my superpower. And the fact that I get to share my talent with a lot of people is the greatest blessing of it all. And I think through this podcast, I'm hoping that everyone just gets to learn something, not necessarily just about me, but just about the things that happen around us, because I really want to talk about everything. These are my thoughts. This is a journal, so it could go anything from finances to relationships, whether it be romantic, friendships, and of course, relationship with yourself. I want to go into sports. I want to go into career. Anything that we want to talk about, we want to get into it with you. And I really want you to treat this as an opportunity to not only connect with me, but to also connect with yourself. Sit down, get in the habit of writing things down. And what I really love about Audio Journal is that I struggle to journal. I usually want to journal when I'm going through something, but now I want to get into the habit of just writing down my thoughts as they are, whether I'm going through something, whether I'm happy, whether I'm just feeling okay, whether it's like anything. I just want to get into it with you. I really want to enjoy this opportunity that we've given ourselves to get into this journey, and I hope you are ready to come on this audio journal journey with me. Is it better?
I will listen to that.
Oh